Welcome to Pass the Salt, the podcast where nothing's bland and everything's served with a little extra flavor. I'm your host, Madeline Salter, and around here we're spilling stories, stirring up real conversations, and shaking things up one episode at a time. So grab your seat, pass the salt, and let's dig in. Ooh, of course, I almost trip over a wire. How dancer of me to do that. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see if I can hop up here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi, howdy. This is episode 1 of Pass the Salt. My name is Madeline, but you can also call me Salty. I think it's very on brand with the sweater I currently have on. I am so excited to start this journey with Pass the Salt. It has truly come a long way, and I have such amazing people with me to get this started, but this episode is called Glamour versus Grind. We are going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of behind the sparkle, behind the hairspray, and behind the lashes, of just what it means to be a professional dancer and just a deep dive into my career, my professional career, should I say. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, and I'm very excited to start this. Okay, we're gonna start with the first one. When the cameras are off and the boots come off, what's the hardest truth about the grind that no one would know, and how did it change you? Oh my goodness gracious. So, I have never held a palm in my life before joining my team, or even before taking prep classes. And it was almost feeling just out of norm. It was so surreal having this extra part of my body that I had to control, which I didn't think was hard. I didn't think 2 cents about it. I was like, oh, I have a palm, okay, I need to make sure, I shake it. I'm gonna be honest, that was the number one thing and the only thing I thought I had to do. And then started taking more classes, and then I went, oh, this is not for the faint of heart. Like, this is people's dedication in life they have just dived deep into. And so when I was released my first time trying out, I dedicated myself going into prep classes, and something I never knew that I needed, strength training. Strength training is so important to my life story, because not only has it made me physically strong, it has also made me emotionally whole, mentally and just emotionally strong. And I don't think a lot of people know that, because professional dancers, you see the beauty in the makeup and the costume and the technique, but there are some hard struggles when it comes to getting to that point. I know people say that, some people are born to be a professional dancer, some people are born to either cheer or dance or act or be an athlete. No one is ever just thrown into something. It's not easy. And something I had to learn was that this is not going to be handed to me on a silver platter and basically fed to me. And especially with my family's background, it's not going to be easy. And so I remember when I started getting into strength training to prepare for what I absolutely love, I had to be mentally strong. And I know people like to do words of affirmation, or they do self-help books. I know as ladies, as women, we're not kind to ourselves, and I also take accountability on that. I think we all need to take accountability on some girls like to say, little banters going, oh my gosh, I look so pale today, or oh my gosh, my eyebrows are not shaped right. I know a lot of girls would say, oh, my head looks like an egg, or I look like a potato. That's not nice. And I've said it to myself. And my mama always said, 90% of what comes out of our mouth, we believe, even though we say it as a joke. There's truth behind every joke, even the jokes we say about ourselves. And so I think what people don't see when it comes to being a professional athlete, I mean, that is what I am, a professional athlete. The hard truth and the grind to try and not just be perfect. I know the old saying, practice makes perfect. Is it perfect or perfection? Perfect. Practice makes perfect, right? I don't believe perfect is a word we should be using. I think we should truly be saying practice makes progress. Because in my eyes, practice makes perfect means you stop what you're doing. Practice makes progress means you continue doing what you love. So, another one that, oh my gosh. My story, overcoming challenges and success. Beyond the public triumphs, and I'm very thankful for all that I have been given, and it is truly a blessing and not to be taken lightly. What's the most painful lesson you've learned about yourself? I can be my biggest cheerleader, but I have also been my biggest critique. I have been dancing in front of a mirror for over 21 years. And there were some times, especially during COVID, when the second time I tried out, I was released before, I believe it was before everyone got invited to Dallas. I wasn't kind to myself. I started taking dance classes, and I actually think it was even before I tried out. I kind of just went with the motion and just harnessed on what I learned my first time trying out, and I just kept that. I was like, I think I need to just keep what I have and just live off that and not push myself harder, which has been a biggest eye-opener to me, especially young me. And it truly is a blessing that you experience your biggest life moments in, not mistakes, but just your trial and errors, which isn't that what your 20s are for? But I am a big believer in being verbally kind to yourself. I've had ladies reach out to me who want to also be professional dancers and professional athletes. They always ask me, like, what scripture do you do you read, or what podcast do you listen to be kind to yourself? There are some great examples and great things in both those areas for growth, but I truly believe you gotta put in the work, you have to put in the effort, you have to put in the words if you want to be kind to yourself or if you want to be confident in yourself. And so when I tried out my third time, I would stand in front of the mirror of the hotel I was staying at, and I would verbally be kind to myself. I would say, I am going to do what I love, which is dancing. I am going to be kind to myself. I am proud of myself. And I have learned through therapy that is hard for me to say. I am kind to myself. I love myself. And looking into a mirror, seeing the person who I've become, it's hard. It's hard. And so the painful lesson that I've learned is to be kind to myself. But I highly recommend just being verbally kind to yourself, and also be with the people who you surround yourself with. That's important. You want to be around people who are verbally kind to themselves and verbally kind to others. It's the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and it will spark another soul. It will spark another heart to be kind to others. Sorry, I'm not right-handed, I'm left-handed. There we go. I'm very proud of this one. This one makes me happy because it reminds myself to be kind to me, to myself, and then I will feed that off to someone else. Dang it almost stuck. Okay, this is where we get to never have I ever. Sit down, ladies and gents. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your non-branded drinks. I don't know if I can say that, that'd be funny. But we're gonna play a little game called Never Have I Ever. Get your fingers up, get your fingies out. I'll do mine. Never have I ever made a professional sacrifice for my career. Yes, even before being part of the team, when I was in college, good old Oklahoma City University at the Ann Lacey School of American Dance, I actually sacrificed my health, which is part of my journey. I sacrificed not eating enough. I sacrificed, not even sacrificed, but I would weigh myself like 3 times a day. I would write down how many calories I was allowed to eat that day. And I professionally sacrificed my health. And that is something I am still working on to this day. We're better, but I have sacrificed my physical health for someone else's approval. And that is saying for a lot of people, not only in professional dancing, but professional athletes, and just anyone who wants approval. That has been a huge sacrifice for many people. And I remember I was in a group with a few of my teammates, and we were told to write down a word that we want to let go that year. And I remember saying approval. I want to release the word approval because I am already approved by the family I've been given. I've already been approved by the life I've been given. I already been approved by, oh gosh, this is something I never said. I already been approved by myself. I think that's so, I don't think I've heard many people say that. Like, I am approved by myself. I approve my own well-being. I approve my own self-worth. Oh shoot. Okay, I like this never have I ever game. Oh gosh, we got this one. Oh, that just flew. Never have I ever pretended to be fine when I'm battling intense anxiety. So, I have never been vocal about my family story until season 1. And when I was in my 2nd year on the team, it was during the summer, and my family was going through some tough times, and I cut my father off from my life, but it was but it was my personal choice to cut him off because the summer is one of the most stressful times for me, and that's like my own, I put that on myself, but it's stressful for other girls as well. I shouldn't say stressful, let me say exciting. It's exciting for other girls as well. And I cut ties off with my father going into my 2nd year. I didn't tell anyone because it wasn't the time to start sharing what I was going through. It's time to focus, it's time to practice. Let's get into the mind focus of what's to come. And when we became a team, I did not invite my father to some events because I was scared of what he was going to do, because he made verbal threats about it. He made verbal threats of like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to make a scene. Whatever that was, I always knew like he would make threats, but it never followed through. So I was just like, oh, it's just dad being dad. It's fine. And then when the incident happened, it was August 31st of 2022. I was on my way to practice and I got a message from a previous employer, because I used to work at a daycare right by my house back during COVID. She told me that there was police activity going on at my house and no one was at that house at the time. My dad was the only living being in that house. And I mean by that because our dogs were safe with my mom. I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused. Called my mom, realized she was at work, called my brother. He didn't know what was happening either. And then it was it was a joined call. And I hear the words, he did it, he's gone. And that happened, and I was still on my way to practice, and I just remember going, why now? Why now? And my mom couldn't talk long, and my brother, Carson was, I believe, also trying to get things situated because he was still at home. A little more details. My mom moved out of the house that she currently lives in now for safety, and my brother moved in with her for safety. And I called my best friend after my mom hung up because she had to go ahead and talk with a detective. I called my best friend and she already knew like a lot what was going on because I trusted in her. And she's my best friend. Like, you make friendships throughout the years, but there's some friendships you just know were like just made in the stars. I think that's what it's called. I think that's how the term goes, but it's just like written in the stars. I got my stars on. And she's been there for me ever since, but when I finally got to practice in the parking lot, I saw one of my teammates and she saw me crying my eyes out, and she came to me and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Can I just please, I need someone with me right now." And we sat in her van and she let me cry my eyes out, cry my heart out. And I was mad. I wasn't like sad, I was frustrated, I was mad. 'Cause yes, he had his own demons, but no daughter, no son, no family member should have to deal with that situation. And a little disclaimer, I am talking about suicide. If you are considering leaving this earth, please get help. If you know a family member that is struggling, please help them. It's very important. No one should ever go through stuff like that. Unfortunately, my father just decided not to. And there's a little resilience where I'm like, should I have not cut ties? Or should I have just stuck with it and been there for him? This is where I think about, you gotta that's not the right saying. You gotta protect your heart as much as possible. You gotta protect yourself. And what I said before, you gotta surround yourself with people who are going to help you. People are going to be kind to you. People are going to love you just as much as they love themselves. even if that means cutting ties with a family member. It's unfortunate to say, but you know, there's family members that we're born with and families that we make throughout life. And I truly believe, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my teammates with me when I went through one of the most, oh my gosh, key points right now in my life. Being a ripe old, I should say ripe old, person of 1998, you do the math. But sharing my story with the world, I feel has truly helped others. And now I want to almost like clean the slate of saying the word fine. Never have I ever pretended to be, okay is not a good word either, but happy. I think I was very much trying to play like, oh no, everything's great, my salty self. And I feel like I've done that a lot. I feel that people that go through trauma, whatever that is, or whatever their story is, they like to put on another persona. And I know a lot of people that have reached out to me on social media saying that they also been through situations like that, family, ex-relationships, even work. And I highly, highly recommend reaching out to the National Hotline of Domestic Violence, because if someone would have told me what I went through, 12 to 24 years old, I would have told a teacher or told a dance teacher, because I was around them a lot. I don't want to go home. Dad's yelling, mom's upset, brother and I are upstairs trying to block out what's happening downstairs. And so, yeah, if you are ever struggling, I say reach out. No one's gonna just say, no, you're not worth helping. Every soul, every heart, every human body on this earth is worth saving. And I truly do wish my father would have gotten help. There were family members. I know his family tried to help him on my dad's side, tried to help him as well. But I truly believe that I have learned and grown from my trauma. So yeah, I'm actually gonna keep this card because this is, I mean, all of those topics are very important to my story. But this one, I'm proud to have right here. So yeah, this has been truly fun. And I'm very thankful for what I've been given in this life, because I truly have been given a wonderful life and amazing opportunities. I never want to ever take anything for granted. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me at the table, for passing this salt. But yeah, all right. Well, see you next time. Stop dropping.